understand other person's context, you are a misfit anywhere when you move out of those confined four walls of the classroom. Even I would say inside the classroom, because the kind of teaching which we are imparting, if you observe very closely, students, those kids, are even having their lunches, the tiffin, in silos. They don't share even that. Ways of thinking, critical thinking and problem solving. Every instance, every day, every second, we are coming up with new, unique problems, and there are no fixed solutions to that. So you need to learn how to think critically. Creativity and imagination would help you to solve problems as well. Under ways of living, you need to develop leadership skills within you. You need to connect with the wider world. So citizenship, once again because of the distribution of English as a language. The demographic dividend in India and the number of jobs available in India doesn't match. So all those who get into the job market will not stay in India, they would go abroad. By 2022, 402 million people would be entering the job market. That's the data from the government initiative Skill India. 75% of the country's economy by 2030 will come from manufacturing and services industry. We were an agro-dominated country. And for all these to happen, we need the skill digital literacy. Now, this is not something very new, the core skills. This is from where it has been adapted after research by the British Council, the Deep Learning 6 Cs. On the right are the CBSE life skills. You can see the degree of overlap which is there. But the problem is, it's not being transacted in the classrooms of today. Sorry to say that. Because the missing piece of the jigsaw is how to integrate these skills within the curriculum. That information is probably missing. So British Council runs a core skills program which absolutely focuses on this, that apart from English, which is extremely important in bridging quality education, it gives you a head start, it accounts for the enormous distribution, you need skills to survive as well. I'm sorry, I supposed to close my presentation with a video, but the video unfortunately is cannot be played. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker for the afternoon is Ms. Aarti Chopra. She is the alumnus of Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi, and a dedicated educationist with a vast experience in the education field. She has been closely associated with various leading schools of India. Her contribution in the field of education has been recognized and appreciated by reputed national and international organizations. She has a tremendous contribute and written in a number of journals, presented papers and led panel discussions. Please welcome Mrs. Aarti Chopra, who will be talking about importance of school education in nation building. Can we please have a round of applause?
Dear friends, my fellow panelists, the organizers for Econs, and CE, and all the guests for today. I hope all of us, the speakers, are not really boring you with too much of information. I think it's really nice if we all could just think for a minute that apart from the name that you and I have been given by our parents to us, what else is there which we call as our identity? The next thing that comes to our mind is the BAs, the MAs and the degrees which we have earned over the years, which are always attached to our name. So it's the education with which we, coming from so-called the cultured, educated society, get to be known and recognized in the world. There's just one thing, being an educationist for so many years, that comes to my mind, the vision comes to my mind, and that is Asato Ma Sat Gamaya. Many of you would have heard, those who are coming from education background. That is something that takes us away from the darkness, from ignorance, towards light, towards knowledge, and that is what we call it as education. So this education, which is so very important to all of us, to you, to me, to this country, to this nation, I think it's a good time that we think and we talk about it and we discuss what is it that make the nations of today bigger. What is it that the people in the world are not getting? What is it that is taking certain countries of the world ahead of the others? What is it that we are not able to get irrespective of what all our government is giving? If you see the etymology of education, it is composed of two words. One is educare and the other is educare. Educare is something that focuses on to train, to form, to mold our minds, to mold our vision, to mold the path on which we are. And educare is something that helps us to develop. So this is what the complete Latin word educare and educere, that is what we are talking about. So can it be moved manually? This is how technology fails us at times, and we just look at each other sheepishly because we really don't know what to do when we become the slaves of technology. According to Vivekananda, education is not the amount of infrastructure that is put into your brain. It is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and runs riot. They are undigested. All your life, you must have life-building, man-making, character-making assimilation of ideas. We want education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, and the intellect is expanded. We in India believe that character building comes synonymous with education. And where does the onus of this character building lies with? It lies with us, the nation builders, the educationists, the schools of today, tomorrow, the universities, the colleges. Coming to education and nation building, what is the connection? One is that it creates an enlightened society because it helps us to be responsible and it helps us to be responsive. Being responsible is being accountable for something, and being responsive is that we obey the law, the rules, the regulation that our country expects us to run ourselves with. And also the best human resources for nation building. We call it as meritocratic bureaucracy. That is, we want and we wish to be led by people who are learned. We do not want to follow such leaders who do not have any qualifications. So increased participation in democracy is another thing that helps in nation building. Who are we voting for? Who is it that we want to be seated on the chair? Let